Good morning. It is going on 7:45 on Monday, September 12th, 2022 on the East Coast of the United States. And this morning, I'm going to fix a cup of coffee. I think what I've got here is Scuro, which is a double espresso. That would be 2.7 ounces. And I've heated up some milk here. Gonna have a milky coffee. And we are going to talk about perfectionism and how that can ignite anxiety in you. But first, let's make the coffee, okay? Here we go. Okay. You know, it's funny, I'm using my pessimist's mug this morning that I got years ago from despair.com. I should have used that the morning we talked about pessimism, right? Okay. And this should be almost done because it's just a small amount, 2.7 ounces. And it says, this glass is now half empty. We're going to make it closer to at least half full, if not more. Okay, here we go. Almost done. You know, I have this sand picture here that I really like, you know, where the sand goes down through the water. And I like to watch the coffee too, because it slowly will go down through the milk. Let's turn it around and see how it is on the other side. Oh, yeah. That's just, it's so fun. Not just a fun taste thing, but a fun visual thing too. So, first, we eject the capsule. Oh, isn't that pretty? Let me give it a stir up. And a taste. Oh, that's really strong. I'm glad that I put so much milk in. I forgot how strong this can be. Wow. Okay. Perfectionism. Placing unrealistically high standards on yourself or others is a sure way to increase your anxiety. Oh my gosh, because none of us are capable of perfection. High standards can have the effect of setting us up for failure. Now, yeah, I think we, you know, in many things in life, well, okay, let me put it this way. There are things in life in which I think, like I would like to strive for excellence. But not everything. I don't need to be excellent and perfect in everything. If that's what I'm aiming at, I'm setting myself up for failure. You know, some of us learn perfectionistic expectations from our parents, and some of us just sort of have that kind of personality where we expect so much of ourselves. And also, these days I've noticed, you know, some of the motivational quotes are just very prevalent these days. And, you know, keep trying, you can do it, you know, things like that. Yes, keep trying, but you can probably improve, but you know what? Sometimes maybe you won't. well, you'll gain experience even if you don't necessarily improve in what you're trying to do. You may not be as good as you want to be at something. You know, I remember when my kids were little, they were on a swim team, and they would get everybody that was, on the team, if they didn't get first, second, third place, whatever ribbons they awarded, you would get a participant ribbon. And they really looked down upon getting a participant ribbon because to them it signified you didn't win. You're not good at this. But I always told my kids, listen, what I'd like to see you do is just try to do better than you did the last time, maybe, or just work on doing better. Just work on it. You can't always do better, but you can work on it. And I said, there are going to be kids that naturally are excellent at swimming, and if those kids show up to the swim meet, it's possible that no matter how good everybody else is, this kid is going to be the one who wins. Because it's not always just dependent on how hard you're trying. It's a swim meet is a comparative thing, okay? If the super fast kid is, sick that day and doesn't show up, well, somebody else will get to come in first. But I think we tend to set ourselves up in situations just like a swim meet, okay? There's a certain fixed group of people who are going to show up. And some people are naturally going to have talents that no matter how hard you try, you will never achieve their level, okay? So what does that say? And, let's extrapolate this, to other situations in life. Whether it's somebody's organizational skills or ability to speak, or I don't know, how they sew, or I don't know what people do. Let's say, you've been training to run a 5K or something, and you are doing great. I had this happen one time. In my age group, usually I started running when I was like over 60. So, there were not that many people at that time that would try to do these things. So I usually was assured of placing, first, second, or third. And then I was in a race one time, and there were several more older people than I, and I didn't place, and I was so disappointed. But you know what? It's the whole swim meet analogy. You got a certain group that shows up, and if there's somebody that is better than you, it doesn't matter how hard you tried. They're going to beat you out. So should you not try? You should keep trying to better yourself. Sure, why not? But you're never going to be perfect. And there may always be someone who's better than you. Sometimes you may be better than everybody else in the particular group. But the point is, your expectations, there's this saying, oh golly, is it your grasp should extend your reach? Or no, your reach should extend your grasp. In other words, you're reaching, but what you actually can grasp, maybe is here, but reach here anyway, reach further than you're actually able to do. Yeah, but don't make yourself crazy over it. Okay, perfectionism. See how many of these things are you. I have high standards for myself and usually hold myself to them. It's fine to have high standards, but sometimes you need to be able to say, oh, I tried as hard as I could. I'm proud of myself, rather than, oh, I just couldn't do it this time. Linda is on here watching, and she says, comparison is the thief of joy. Absolutely. I usually have a right way to do something, and it's difficult to vary vary from that approach. Oh, I think if there's one thing in life that's really important for everybody, it's the ability to be flexible. And your way of doing things, maybe it's always worked for you, but I think, sometimes we have to realize that just like being perfect, the way we do things may not be right for every situation. So we need a little flexibility, or else we're gonna get anxious. People consider me extremely conscientious and careful as a worker. Now, I used to be that person that everybody, get Sylvia to do it because she'll do, a great job. She's so conscientious and careful, has high standards. Well, that's good, but the thing is that I used to push myself so that I would never fail. That generated a lot of anxiety in me, trying to keep up those standards. When I am wrong, I'm very embarrassed and ashamed. Oh, have you ever had that happen to you? Maybe you have it happen to you a lot. If you do, you may have some problems with anxiety. When others are watching me, I am concerned that I'm going to humiliate myself. I think that this is something that's more prevalent than people might want to admit. You know how if you'll ask somebody to do something, especially in front of people, oh, no, ask someone else. I, don't really want to do that. That's not my thing. I don't like getting up in front of people. People will respond like that. Or maybe they know they're going to be observed and they are just a nervous wreck. This is very common, but does it happen to you a lot? Then maybe it's something that, you need to deal with. This should not be a recurrent source of anxiety in your life. Or it doesn't have to be. Let me put it that way. I almost never perform at a level that I'm satisfied with. Whatever you do, it's not good enough for you. Oh, I could have done better. I should have done it this way or that way. Maybe you're a perfectionist. Is that something that's good and that's helping you to love yourself and to grow and build yourself and others up? Perfectionism. I have a hard time letting go of mistakes I make. That's kind of like the one before. Well, it's like several before. Do you go over and over mistakes that you've made? Just can't seem to let go of them? I feel I have to be hard on myself or I won't be good enough. So, if you're a perfectionist, you may be hearing all these things that I've read and saying, yep, that's me. I just have to try harder. No, you know what you need to do? Give yourself some grace and realize nobody is perfect, okay? A lot of people have difficulties with perfectionism. And one of the ways that you can help deal with this anxiety-igniting quality of perfectionism is, first of all, to realize nobody's perfect. And you know what? If you're not perfect, people are still going to like you and or love you anyway. In fact, they might even like you better. And also, practicing mindfulness. Here's an example. Just learning to enjoy what you're doing, enjoy a situation, rather than looking to make accomplishments. That's something that's difficult for me. I like to accomplish things, and it's hard for me sometimes to just enjoy what I'm doing. One of the things I enjoy is talking with you guys. Oh, I have an appointment soon. I need to get going. Got to finish my coffee. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that this was in some way helpful for you. Talk to you later.